Hey, what's going on, everyone? Let me show you Shorty the Dually's recent pickup here. This thing's squatting real good. Here we go, 2003 F350 6-liter. Figured I'd just make a little video to show you guys the new purchase here. Possibly a donor truck, maybe not. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. I got it for 2,000 bucks. Right now it is a no crank, no start, so it doesn't even crank. They said it's blown up, but I don't really think that they know what they were talking about, because they put two brand new batteries in it, probably thinking that it was dead. So that wasn't the case, and it's only got 175,000 miles. And I mean, I'm not an expert on 6 liters, but HEUI injection system, it doesn't just blow up without running out of oil. It wouldn't run with no oil. So I find that very hard to believe. Unless it's like a weird materials failure inside, but it's just unlikely that it's that. I think it's hydro locked, which would be the reason they put those batteries on, because they probably thought the truck was dead. So it's got two brand new batteries in it. It cranks for about 1/10 of a second, and then it's like fighting it. So I'm gonna see if I can get this unhydro locked and see if we can get it running. So underneath the hood here, it's got this nice big intake on it. Two brand new Walmart batteries. Nothing, I mean, they're Walmart batteries, but still brand new. And I just find it hard to believe at 175,000 miles that this thing seized up, or blew up or whatever, and it's preventing the crank from turning. And rather than sit here and try to crank it more and possibly do more damage or bend a rod or something, I am going to dig into it and see if it's either a bad injector tip, or if it's a bad injector O-ring, or even if the EGR core went bad and flooded the thing with coolant, because it's still on here. It's not deleted. At least it doesn't look like it is on the ends. I don't know if they welded it shut or possibly, but I don't think it's deleted. Look at the exhaust manifolds, and this is the driver's side, and you can see it's a little bit moist in the 6-cylinder, and it looks like going up to the up pipe there, right off the number 8 cylinder. So I would take a good bet that there's something going on there, because the other side is completely dry. So I'm gonna take a look and see what's causing this. I'm gonna pull the glow plugs out on that side and see if we shoot anything out of the cylinders. Hopefully we do, and then we can get this thing unhydrolocked, figure out if it's an injector tip or an injector O-ring, and go from there. All right, well, I figured out what was going on with this. Like it showed, the number 6 was wet, and it had popped the glow plugs out, and of course a bunch of fuel shot out of there, a bunch of diesel. It's all over, kind of, it shot like a projectile. But let me just show you now. It's not locked up anymore. I'm gonna see what's going on underneath there. Pop this valve cover off, look at the injectors, and hopefully, maybe it's just a bad O-ring. That would be simple. Well, here's our problem. Look at that injector tip. Thing's missing a piece of it. So that's the problem right there. Dumping fuel in there. I left the oil reel hooked up, and because I don't have the tool to get that line off, but I'm gonna go, I guess, get a new injector now, and then we'll see if this thing actually runs. Hopefully it does. I mean, they said it was just running, and then it smoked white and then black and then shut off. So I bet you this dumped a lot of fuel in there, or did something crazy like that, and then I just locked it up. But hopefully it didn't do any damage, since that piece is missing. I don't know. All right, everyone. Well, I got the truck here in the garage, and it's been a few days since I did that last clip, and the truck's been running good. starts right up, runs great. The problem, I was tracing down a boost problem because this thing, I didn't think it had enough power accelerating. It felt slower than my 7.3, which I know it shouldn't be that way, especially with the VGT turbo. It should spool up pretty quick and move, but it wasn't doing that. So I pulled the turbo off. I cleaned the vanes. They looked fine. Cleaned in there, and then I just checked like the intercooler pipes, checked the map sensor, actually replaced the map sensor because I broke the little nipple that holds the fuel line hose, or the line hose in there, and that goes to the intake manifold. The nipple broke right off the map sensor, so I actually replaced that. And I feel like it's starting, I don't know, it feels a little bit better. I don't know if it's there yet, but I'm gonna figure that out. I ran some diagnostics and it spit out a map sensor code before I replaced it, and it spit out I think it was a P2263, which is a turbo performance code. So I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully I'm trying to figure that out. But you can see here that I have the bumper. I got it held up by a jack. I'm taking that off. I decided that this is going to be the donor truck for the Bronco because it's just everything I want. It's got all the wire harnesses what I want. I wanted pre-05 because I know how to work with them really well because my truck's an 02. I wanted 02 to 04. So yeah, like I was saying, the bumper's coming off this truck. I am taking basically everything that I need from it because it's being an extended cab with the only 2 doors in the front that really have power. That's going to be perfect for the Bronco. And then just a wire harness, like the 02 to 04 harness, I'm way more familiar with than anything 05 plus. I mean, they're probably pretty similar, but there's definitely differences with the can and pretty much everything there. So I know this harness very well because when I did that excursion in my truck, that harness, I pretty much know everything on this harness. So I'm way more familiar with this. And then the engine harness, of course, is what it is. And then the motor, but the transmission too. And I decided that I'm going to take these axles, actually. I'm going to make the Bronco a dually because there's nothing wrong with them. And with a little bit more weight in the Bronco, I want heavier axles. And I think making it a dually would be really cool. I mean, I don't really think, I've seen maybe one on the internet. So I don't think that's a very popular thing, but I want to make it unique. And especially with the 6-liter, everything else I'm doing to this truck, man, this is going to be one cool truck. But like I said, I'm starting to part it out. I was originally going to sell this whole because I got it running and I was like, I can make a decent buck off of it because I bought it not running. And then I figured, for the money I'm going to make it, so it's what I need. Ideally, I wanted the 05 to 07 motor, the newer one, because of the high pressure oil system in there and those updates. But I don't know. I mean, I got it here and I know that this one runs and everything. And down the road, if I ever decide to do it, I can interchange the motors. They'll interchange relatively easy. So I figured, what, good base. The truck's rusty anyway, and cab corners are gone. It's not worth that much. So it's a perfect donor vehicle, and I'm really not into it much, especially after I get rid of this bumper. That'll be a decent buck back. Let me just give you some more clips of the truck. We'll walk around again. So it's a decent looking truck. Except for the cab corners. I mean, the rockers are rusty and the rear door's kind of shot and everything. But it's got airbags on it, like I said, missing the one, but I'm going to steal them for my black truck with the leaf springs because my leaves are completely shot. Thing squats way too low. And then this is just going to be the perfect donor truck. It was like an overnight decision to keep this and use it for myself, but I was originally not planning on keeping this. That's not why I bought it, but it's kind of looking that way now. I'm crossing my fingers that injector tip didn't damage that piston. I mean, more than likely, maybe it did, but it was such a small piece that it might have just scooted its way right out, but we'll see. Down the road, if I do the heads on it, which I hopefully eventually will, I do plan on it at some point, I'll be able to see that firsthand, and that can kind of be a deciding factor what I do with this motor. But I mean, it runs good and it doesn't appear to have any problems as far as I could tell. So hopefully, I don't know, hopefully I got lucky, but who knows, but anything can happen. So we'll see. But nonetheless, my goal is to just basically use this motor first for fitment, get the mounts right and get it in there, and transmission, everything, because I know at least it runs and drives. I'll be able to move the truck and test it, and then, like I said, down the road, if I want to switch a motor out, I can go find a van and take it from there, and then switch the pieces over accordingly, and do what I gotta do there. But I don't know, just wanted to share this because it's a good donor truck. It's really kind of exactly what I was looking for, unintentionally, but it is. So it's gonna be foot to the floor up here around this curve. Let's see what it does. It's not whistling like I feel like it should. Alright, this will be foot to the floor. Just doesn't have it. It's like it takes a second for the boost to kick in. I don't know. I just did a leak down test. It ain't leaking anywhere. So, I don't know. The only thing I have not checked is the VGT solenoid because I'm waiting on a socket. So, tomorrow I'm going to pull that off and see if that's moving. But, I don't know. Okay, so I chased this boost problem for probably a good week before I figured out what it was. I mean, I took the turbo off, cleaned that, cleaned the vanes and the little plate in there, and then I was just checking like the map sensor, a little nipple on the intake manifold. Checked that was clear. I replaced the hose that goes to the map sensor, and in the process, like I said, broke the map sensor. So I actually got a new one of them. Checked the exhaust back pressure tube and the sensor, and I checked all my intercooler boots. Checked the intercooler. Did a leak down test, which was fine. I was holding pressure with that, and it just was, I was losing like my mind over this. I was chasing it forever. And the one thing that I didn't check was the VGT solenoid because I didn't have the right socket. So I had to wait to get that 12.8 millimeter socket. And once I got that, I pulled it off. And the O-rings, they were kind of shot, and I don't know, it didn't look great, and the end of it wasn't moving great. So I tried to re-O-ring it, and then that didn't work. So then after that, I ended up just buying a new one because I was like, I don't know what this is. So I actually just went with an Amazon one just to see if it would work, because usually I like to put Ford only parts in there, which I will be putting a Ford VGT solenoid back in. But I put an Amazon one in just because $40, I mean, just to see if that was what it was. I didn't really want to dish out the $200, $180 or whatever it is if that wasn't the case. So I just did that, and it lit up. It spooled up quick and drove great. The Chinese VGT solenoid worked. The whistle is there. Well, that's a lot better. A lot more responsive too. I'll take that as a win. All right, so there you have it. Truck runs great, drives great, it's got the boost, and now I'm ready to start taking it apart. So I think you're gonna wanna see next week's video because let's just say the truck's no longer a truck anymore. It's just a bunch of parts. But yeah, I hope you guys, if you liked the video, go down there, hit the subscribe button, and then next week, well actually currently, I am tearing apart both the Bronco and the 6.0, and then hopefully within the following week, the 6 liters in the Bronco. So definitely go check out that video next Sunday. Trying to post on every Sunday, and then you guys will be able to see that. So hope you guys enjoyed once again, and I will see you guys in that next video.